welcome in to episode 9 of our Humankind Let's Play series featuring the Harbor strategy. I'll say it because I've said it before every episode, but this is one of my favorite ways to play Humankind. I really enjoy this strategy. We're obviously like way over cheesing it in this particular playthrough just to show off kind of the depth of it. Even taking some of these harbor-based emblematic district cultures and playing like them occasionally in a game here or there, I think can be done in a very powerful ways. We're overdoing it by a lot. And so that's what we're going to hopefully demonstrate today. Today, we have 7 turns, I believe, until we need to move up out of the classical era, which means we have 7 turns to get all of our Cothons in. So that is the focus today of this episode. We're going to get our Cothons placed. And it is going to start getting crazy how beneficial this strat is going to get. Now, again, we're not going to see all of that necessarily until we start making attachments and getting our VOC warehouses down, but we're going to be setting up for that because we're coming up on that time. We have the Carthaginians right now, we get our Cothons in, and we move up to the Swahili, and we get our Bandaris in. Once the Bandaris are in, and we move up to the early modern, where we're going to take the Dutch and use the VOC warehouse, when we get to that point, our cities need to be prepared to absorb excessive amounts of harbors and territories from a stability standpoint. And so that's outside of Cothons and getting them in all of our unattached territories. We also need to focus in now on how are we going to prepare for, in just one era, basically, we have to be ready to be able to make all of those attachments to get our VOC warehouses in. And in order to put them in, we have to attach the territories, which is going to cost us in a couple of different ways, specifically from a stability standpoint. So we'll start prepping for that as well today. If you need to catch up on the whole series, the link to episode 1 is down in the description below. I also have other Humankind content on the YouTube channel, so feel free to check that out. But let's get into it, and let's start placing some Cothons. Welcome in to our capital city of Byblos once again. Here it is. It is a centralized territory, and if you zoom out as we do so, you will notice the rest of the territories around it are all coastal territories, and what we've done is we've effectively set up an interior connected city network of 3 cities. Each city has 2 territories that are currently included in it, and those cities will be attaching out into all of these other territories once we get to the early modern era. Now, we have a couple of decisions that we've been making over the course of the last little bit, and those specifically revolve around the New World. Here is the New World continent. Now, we've claimed out all the islands. We've even claimed out islands on this side of things, and we are now debating. We have a 241 influence per turn generation, but our Cothons, to put them in, is going to cost us 50 influence per Kothon, because we already have havens in each of those territories, so the cost increases. It's still negligible, right? It is still negligible to put in a Kothon at 50 influence, when if you were to build it normally, it is going to cost you an astronomical sum of production or gold if you choose to purchase it in. It's absolutely so dirt cheap to put it in for 50, but 50 for all of these territories starts to add up very quickly. And so rather than continuing to make claims on the New World, we're going to hold on that for a little bit, and we're going to start putting our Cothons down. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to end turn here. We'll move up to the next turn, see how things progress, and we'll start putting Cothons in next turn. Remember, our goal is to move up before we hit the tech limit, and so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 turns left until we hit our tech wall. And so once we hit that tech wall, we want to be prepared to move up. And so we want to get our Cothons in by then. If we can start placing our Cothons a little bit early here, we can get a feel for, if we can't, like in a couple turns, if we can place a couple more of our territories down here and try to get some Cothons in some of these spaces as well. We'll get units over into those areas just in case we need to make those claims. And so we'll be prepared for that. But we would need to do 2 things, right? We need to keep in mind that each territory, once you claim it, takes several turns to build in the outpost, and then we'd be able to purchase the Kothon. So we need to manage both influence, and we need to manage our time and how many turns we have left before we're going to move up. So let's hit end turn, and we'll progress through for our next turn. Turn 98. All right, we got more trade routes blocked, which is a little bit painful. We also need to check that. I can't remember when the last time that we checked that is. Byblos is having
starvation
problems with
I don't mean
food.
to nag.
Okay, so
but
let's
the
check that
marks
out.
one leaves on history should not necessarily be from malnutrition.
Okay, so we're at -7. Wait, why are we minus? Well, this is not the expert policy that we have in play. Okay, thank you. I don't. Okay, so we're at -7 here. We're just about at pop cap, so we're actually pushing food here. So let's take a look at what we can get. 14 food for artificial reservoirs. That's probably going to be better than any. Plus 10 is not bad, and that increases our quarters. I am not opposed to putting in a farmer's quarter here. Our stability is very good, and I think it would be a very good idea for us to put in a farmer's quarter here. The artificial reservoirs. So the reason I'd be doing this, even though the artificial reservoirs get us more food, the farmer's quarter gets us the 10 food and an additional farmer slot to work. And so that's probably going to push us well over. In fact, it does. If you run the math, it pushes us over the 14 to 10 food difference. We're going to get more benefit by being able to work another food tile here. So let's go ahead and put this in. That is a 10 food. I like that placement as well. I think that works well for us. So we'll get that in. So we're going to go farmer's quarter in this city. Let's get our troops moving in the directions they need to go. This guy, I don't even remember what this guy's doing. I think he's just sailing around. What kind of boat is he, though? I mean, he's a bear. He should be a bireme still, right? I believe. We probably have to stay coastal here. I don't think we can pop out in this direction. But we'll just keep him in the water, I guess. We're kind of exploring kind of far and wide here. Okay, these are our guys in the New World, so we want these guys in a position to potentially make claims. So we need 625 influence to make claims this far out, which is really large. Let's just go get rid of some of this fog. Basically, make sure that we know exactly what we're getting into on the New World, just in case there's any, like, look at this weird little jut in this territory. I love that stuff in Humankind. Okay. These guys, I think, are in position, because we were thinking a Vesuvius claim would be pretty nice. I believe this spot is probably our spot. We don't have any river to claim off of, and we've got some pretty decent production around this spot, along with some pretty decent food. This might be the other spot to go to, because that's actually going to get us additional... it'd be about the same, actually, right? I think it would be the same. Because these are 2s and those are 2s, and these are 2s and those are 2s. I think it would be the same. That's a 3, but I don't know if it exploits water. So I think that's our spot. So we'll just leave these guys sitting right here. This
I'm
warrior...
not sure what the proper adjective is, but it appears that you have been out-religioned.
Out-religioned? What does that even mean? I don't think that's true at all, friend. Oh, wow, that's all cliff wall there? Oh, okay, so in order to get that, I mean, that's worth it probably, right? Just go after the curiosity.
Everyone, aboard!
Okay, this guy, meanwhile, is what, in the water and sailing still on the coast, I guess? Or were we supposed to, what are we doing with this guy? Oh, this is unclaimed. Where does this attach? Is this just a random... That's not an island. That's a whole continent. That's just to the north... That's northwest of us? Oh, that's No, that's northwest of... Oh, fascinating. Okay. Well, we keep in the water, I guess. Just see what's happening there. Okay, these guys are on the New World as well. They are in position for a claim. This is, I believe, our city claim, I think we decided. This would be a good city spot. Oh, no, we want a city here, I think, and city here. So I think we just have these guys hold.
Alert and watch.
Oh, this is an actual boat, so we'll just keep him sailing. We'll go for, like, circumnavigate or something, right? If you have a boat and you don't know what to do with it, just try to circumnavigate with it. That's, like, generally speaking, what my suggestion is going to be. I think one of our other cities was actually starving as well. No, okay, just one of our outposts. Our outposts are bouncing between food right now, so they're going over and then dropping back under repeatedly. So that's just what's going to happen because we haven't attached them for multiple eras now. Let's do this first, just in case. The first calendar. We're just now getting this at turn 98. That feels weird. All right, well, we got a calendar now. We're going to go solar because it pushes us towards science, and that is what we want. So, solar, please. All right, Sidon needs to build some. Sidon is okay on food. They are right at pop cap. So, as much as we might want to... That's a 34 food artificial reservoirs. So as much as we might want to start doing some of this stuff, and we actually do need to start focusing on things like the aqueduct and different stability measures that we're going to need to take in these cities, I do think we probably want to get a farmer's quarter in here. Just we're crossing very dangerously close to where we don't necessarily want to be. I know that's a 21, but that is actually exactly our VOC warehouse spot, so we don't want to take that. We have a 15 food spot here, which I think is going to be like our next best. Yeah, because we've got other farmers' quarters over here. So let's just go farmers' quarter this, get that down. Population, just a little bit of population control. In as far as we're just going to increase our pop cap by 1 by getting an extra worker slot. And then we'll probably have to start focusing on stability. Because again, this city has... 91 is perfectly fine. It's not going to be fine when we start making attachments though, right? Okay, so let's start doing Cothons. I think we just start putting Cothons in. We've got 539 influence. Let's see how far we can get on Kothon placements. We will start... I guess we just start at the top and work our way around. So we'll start here. And we'll look to get our Cothons down. So we want to remember our VOC spots. That's going to be pretty obvious because our havens are going to be attached to our VOC spots, right? So here's our VOC spot. And now we want to get maximum benefit out of our Kothon. So as we look at the Kothon again, plus 10 district fortification, minus 10 stability, standard for almost all harbors. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Probably not in this episode, but in the next one. Plus 3 industry for adjacent coastal water. So it's got a coastal water bonus, and then plus 2 industry per adjacent lake, which is just separate from that. And then you get your worker slot as well, and your plus 5 food on harbor. Counts as a harbor. And then I get the ridiculous part of the Kothon is counts as a farmer's quarter, market quarter, and maker's quarter. So anytime you do anything that benefits farmers markets or makers quarters, the Kothon will get those benefits. It's just a wildly good district for the most part. Okay, so we have a 32-15 there. So the thing is I'm tempted to want to put our Bandar, because Bandaris give... Our Bandari, I can't remember if oh wait, we could check. We'll just check. We'll just look. Easy. Yeah, let's talk about the Swahili right now. Number 1. Plus 10 stability on harbor. Plus 10 stability on harbors per adjacent regular district. So the Swahili cap off our harbor strat in kind of the most ridiculous way possible. Because what's going to happen is all of our harbors that were minus 10 stability that we have not attached in yet are all of a sudden going to become 0, right? Because they were minus 10. They're going to get plus 10 stability. So they're going to end up at a 0. But then plus 10 stability on harbor per adjacent regular district. Now, the VOC warehouse will 100% count, I believe, as... Or is that an emblematic, so maybe it doesn't count as that? I don't know. I think a regular district just means not a harbor, potentially. I'm not sure, though. So we'll see if we can get that, because we might actually be generating stability from our harbors eventually, which we have a lot of harbors down. So a lot of our stability problems are going to go away when we make when we put our Bandaris in. As soon as we switch to Swahili, actually, this is going to happen. Okay, so the Bandari allows construction of new districts on adjacent tiles, just like a harbor would. Replaces the harbor. Yep, so it counts as a harbor. Plus 3 money per number of unique types of resources available. So if we have more resources, the Bandaris become more beneficial. Now, keep in mind, per number of available types of resources available also counts all of your trade. So if you're trading with everybody, that's going to be very good for you. We'll see those numbers. The Bandari numbers are usually relatively high. Counts as a farmer's or market quarter. So the key here is, in my opinion, that it doesn't have any adjacency bonuses, right? So we can put our Cothons in just the best possible spot for them, and that is all we need. Because the coastal havens, they have an adjacency bonus for regular districts, but we actually kind of want our... that doesn't particularly matter because we're going to be all of them are going to surround our regular districts, as much as we can anyway. So I don't think that's going to be a problem. So really what we're looking at is we can put our Cothons in the most beneficial spot, so long as that spot is adjacent to our VOC warehouse, right? So that's our VOC warehouse spot. This is a 32 food, 15 industry Kothon. Just think about those numbers for a moment. At turn 98 in this game, that's pretty decent. All right, so let's get these in. I'm not going to be like particularly like specific about this. I'm just going to kind of hit the scroll button. So you can see like these guys are at 7 of 6 population, and they're going to grow to 8 of 6, so they're going to start dropping pop shortly. But okay, so here's our haven. There's our VOC spot, and so it's going to tell us that the best spot to put this is over here, because that's going to get us more food, right? The food is more valuable over here because we're exploiting more tiles. We don't want that. We definitely want it in one of these tiles here, right? And this one is probably going to be our normal harbor because we want that to be adjacent to as many regular districts as possible as well. So there's a 3212, and here is a 299. So really what we want, though, out of the Kothon is the production, right? We actually care about the production number being as high as possible rather than the food number. The food number will get taken care of by other harbors, but you only get production off of the Kothon because that's what the Kothon generates off of coastal water adjacency, right? So we're going to put this 3212 down right here. It's going to be a lovely looking Kothon heading into the harbor. It's adjacent to our VOC spot, so we're good there. So we'll go ahead and put that in. Hit the arrow button. We'll come down here. We'll look for our spot. Again, very tempting spot. And we could have put our VOC there, but we didn't. We chose to put it over here. There is our haven. So we have a choice between a 32.9, a 32.15, and a 23.26. So 32.15 is going to be our best bet here. So we'll go ahead and plop that in. And we'll hit the over button. We'll grab another on. Here is our spot right there. So we're looking at either a 23.6, a 29.9, or a 29.9. I'm going to go ahead and keep the Cothons and the havens together if the option exists, just for kicks and giggles, essentially. Because I think it'll look cool that way. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll click the spot right here. This place, it's going to come up here. Again, it's going to tell me to go down here because we're going to get a lot more food out of that. So we have a choice of a 17.6, a 23.6, or this spot right here, the +8. This one is going to be our regular harbor here. So the 23.6 is definitely going to be our best bet here. So let's take the 23.6. Again, keeps everything adjacent. This is our VOC warehouse spot right here, right? Here's our 4 adjacencies. We want to make sure we stay in line with that. Okay, so now we get to the islands. The islands get a little tricky. So we are putting our VOC warehouse here. And so we're just going to look for our best. Okay, it's saying, like, replace your haven. Wow, that's bold to tell me to replace a haven. All right. 26, 12, and 3. Why would I replace my haven when I could put down a one that's better? 26, 12. 26, 9. Okay, so the 26, 12, and 3 is where we're going to go, right? There's our spot. That's the haven. There's the Kothon. Okay. No worries. All right. Kothon in this spot. So we chose this. No, it's not this spot as our VOC, right? This is our VOC here. So this is where we have to get a little bit. We have to watch it because this is connected to this land, but our VOC is going here because we can't get all 3 around this spot because of these. So we want to make sure this is our VOC. I could technically tack these or mark them or whatever. Marking and tacking in Humankind is questionable. So we want to put our VOC here. So we got a lot of options though, right? We have a lot of options to be able to get that adjacency here. So this is probably the spot, right? The 3812. Yeah, 3812 is glorious. Creates a bunch of different connection points. So let's do that. It's all connecting off of here, so it's going to end up looking kind of funny because our VOC is going to end up here, but the adjacencies all will still count. Okay, oops. Let's back up. We're just going to keep going down the line. We have a couple more of these we can put in. There is our haven here. So it's telling me to replace again, which was not my favorite idea. 3815. I don't know why it's telling me to replace that. Isn't that weird? So this is a 3815, not a 3715, but yet it wants me to replace my haven. Look. Computer, No. No. Okay. Carthage can't put one in. There's City. Marcab can definitely put one in. Only 45 to put one in here. Wait, why is it only 45 here? Ah! Because they do not have a haven. So we have to pick our spot in Macab. So any of these spots off the coast here will do. So we might as well just pick like the best one for the. We might as well just pick the best spot possible for the Kothon, right? So we get the most coastal waters going off of this. That still allows us to put our harbor probably here and our Bandari here and then our VOC warehouse here. It doesn't allow us to surround the VOC warehouse with as many market quarters, but we can still get 2 market quarters around it. Whereas, like, if we did it like here, for example, we could get 3 market quarters around the backside of our VOC warehouse. So that's something you could think about is VOC warehouses are market quarters, and so they do benefit from other market quarters, and market quarters benefit from them. And so you could technically, we could elect to put our VOC warehouse here and surround it with 3 market quarters, but I'd rather get optimum placement for my harbors. I mean, you could probably play it either way. You might get more money if you do it with more market quarters surrounding your VOC warehouses, but I think this will work for us in this particular case. So we're going to go with the 2615. I like this. I'm just making sure I like it. I like it. We're going to go. We should be able to put 1 more of these in. All right, and where's our spot here? Again, no haven here. So anywhere that doesn't have a haven, which means it didn't have a 3 spot basically, is where we're going to get in our bonds. I like, yeah, that's the spot for sure. It gets us a good. That VOC spot is very optimal. And I'm gonna go just straight out here with the Kothon because I think that looks pretty, you know. Oh look, there's a curiosity right there. Okay, so now we're at 49. I don't think we'll have enough. Oh yeah, because we're 45. For some reason, we're at 45 on all the ones that aren't doubled. How is it 45 and 50? I don't know the answer to that question. Okay, this one actually only has a 2 spot. This one only has a 2 harbor spot, which is kind of a pain. Right? Because there's no. That's it, right? In this particular territory, it's just this line right here. So yeah, our Kothon spot's gonna be pretty obvious because it's gonna get us the most coastal tiles right here. Then we'll just put like our Bandari here or here, and then like a harbor somewhere where it gets us some other bonuses. But the harbor's not gonna connect the VOC in this particular spot, which is kind of a bummer. Okay, so we spent all of our influence on Kothons there. We'll do that again at the end of the next turn, and so on and so forth until all the Kothons are in, and then we'll take a look at how much we're going to be able to possibly claim to then be able to maybe add some Kothons at the end. Siege tactics researched. Our science star has been unlocked. An agreement has been proposed. Oh, good. We need these. Yes. I will accept this.
I cannot dispute the benefit in that.
Now that we're trading everything, I will propose an alliance since we're not in an alliance.
We would all benefit from growing
They declined
closer,
the alliance.
don't you think?
That's fine. I'm just going to renounce that and
it would be best to let bygones be bygones.
Leverage.
The Empire is grateful.
Burley has no luxuries, but he does have copper and horses. And I like horses because horses get me food. So we're going to go ahead and grab those. Let's go ahead and run it back to the beginning.
All those of honest intent.
We are in a full alliance with Icarus. We're trading for everything he has, so that's great. I have not built an embassy yet because we are hard focusing everything. We are in an alliance with Nox, but we can propose. I would propose a cultural exchange because I would really like some extra influence. That has been refused by Nox every time.
I think.
Okay, Burley we just made all of our agreements with. We're full trading, and we're in an alliance now.
Perhaps we have some common ground.
We're trading everything here, so I'm not opposed to proposing an alliance.
We would all benefit from growing closer.
I think that was a decline.
Don't you think?
And I would like to buy
but no
salt. I'm not going to buy those gemstones yet. We will want to buy those eventually.
Duly noted.
I don't think I need the iron either, unless it's cheap. It's pretty cheap. I guess we could just get access to it. Let's just buy access to it. I don't want the gemstones quite yet. They're very expensive. They probably cost like an astronomical amount. Yeah, 303 gold for a gemstones, and it just gives you +4 money on market quarter because not very many of our market quarters are attached right now. It's just not very valuable to us. So they declined our alliance, but then we did get a crisis off of it for whatever reason.
Yes, greetings.
We
hope you
can't
don't mind if I
propose
stare.
anything with Plosive here yet. Plosive doesn't seem to have any resources currently. Maybe we just don't know about it. You know, maybe we just don't know.
Blades in the water.
Let's get this boat off and away. We've got some more resources down here. It's really nice land. The New World usually is, but it's looking pretty good. Let's keep this guy in the water. We'll just start to see kind of what's out here. Oh, that guy, I think that guy can grab that. What is this guy doing again? Is this guy getting ready for a claim on this particular land? I think so. So, how do we want, where do we want the claim to be here? Probably like up in here somewhere.
Got it.
We'll just get him in position for a claim. This guy was busting fog, but we should get him in position for a claim as well. Let's see. I like the idea of claiming this. We don't have to. We're gonna make that one a city eventually, right? But let's see. We don't need to claim interior territories, actually. You know what? We should actually move this guy off of an interior territory. We got a guy to claim this. We got a guy that we can send down here to claim this. And then I can move this guy over here to be able to claim that. If we so end up with that many resources. It's not like it would be in a rush to claim them anyway. Okay, let's not worry too much about it. Let's go ahead and set this guy right in here somewhere. Probably the claim spot. Could be over here, actually. Either of those is going to look pretty nice. So we'll get that guy waiting. This guy's already in a spot that we like. This guy's in a spot that we like, but now that we're remembering that's interior, I want to send this guy over here to potentially put a claim in on this coastal territory. So let's do that. And I think the claim for this territory is... It's probably over by this river here. Probably on this tile. We'll just send him right there. Oh. Go do that first. Okay. This guy's in the water. We'll keep him there for now.
Yes. Ready all?
Probably a bad idea, because he could cover a lot more ground if he wasn't in the water. Alright, we're just going to grab... So we have 3 turns only left now? Okay, so let's grab... Let's see, where do we leave off? Over here in our land. Somewhere-ish over here. Here's our Kothon. This is another spot where we didn't have a haven. And so we'll just pick the best Kothon spot. In the lake! A 38-8 in the lake. Is that what we want? 38-8 in the lake. That's going to get us a lot more food. Oh, we can get a 12. We can go 12 up here, though. 23, 12, and increase our production. I mean, the numbers don't bear out. The numbers don't quite bear out. I'm not opposed to doing it in the lake. In fact, why not? Because we're gonna get our market quarters are gonna benefit from this incense. So if we could put our VOC like here, and then put market quarters. That's the market quarter like here and here even, and then out to here. That's not a bad play actually. Oh, I think we take this 3510 spot. We'll take this 3510 spot. VOC. Oh man, but that takes the VOC away from this. That's fine. The VOC is going to get plenty of benefits. All right, let's take this 3510 spot. I like the idea of putting these in the lake. It's going to look strange, but what are you going to do? All right, let's get these guys are again another one where we have to pick a spot. And this would probably be a very nice spot for a VOC. Or right here even. We can only get one adjacency there, so I guess right here. In which case, yeah, then that's gonna feed into our strat there. We're not gonna put it here, that's not even in territory. So yeah, right here is good. We put our VOC in this spot right here. That will work nicely, I think. Okay. A couple more we could put in. That territory goes up there, but there's only one spot of land. 26-12 or 29-9. I think we take the extra production again because that's where we're kind of benefiting the most from on here. So let's go that. A couple more we can put in. On this territory, actually, yeah, can only... Wait, why can't they go on? Oh, that's right. There's these 2 coastal tiles right here, and then a non-coastal tile. Super strange. So, hold. This territory actually is not great for much of anything. But we don't want to go here. We definitely want our VOC to be here. And so... Adjacent tiles... Oh, that's right. So this... Because of the cliffs... So we asked that question, right? We asked the question, can you harbor on cliffs? And my proposed answer was, I really don't think you can, which that apparently is actually true. You cannot harbor on cliffs, which makes a lot of sense. So this territory actually becomes much less valuable to us because there's cliffs everywhere. We actually can't even get a decent adjacency for our VOC. We'll still be able to put a VOC like up here somewhere and get 1 harbor adjacency from it and then surround it. But that's a pain. But I think we just take the best. It doesn't really matter. We just take the best Kothon spot and then we stick probably like our Bandari can go like over here and our regular harbor can go inside here. It's probably the way we do it. But that's kind of unfortunate. Probably could have waited to put that one in, to be honest, just because it was like our least valuable, arguably our least valuable one. Those are not going to get us any triple spots. This is definitely arguably our spot up here, except I think we're going to get much better bonuses if we go... That's a 23-12, but this is a 30... Oh, except we can't get... Yeah, this over here does not work for us because it will not allow a VOC to get 3 harbors around it. So our place is 100% has to be here around this nub right here is our VOC spot, right? So this spot is VOC. So we just take our best option here. 21.63, 39.3. So the 30, I mean, you could take the 12. I think getting access to that science is going to be beneficial, although we would probably get that from any of our other harbors as well. So we could take this spot here and then extend around with some of our other... Yeah, I'm not opposed to that. Okay, let's put it right here. I'm not opposed to that. Because we'll get the access to the food and the science with our other stuff. Okay, there's all of our influence spent again. Let's go. Turn 100. Fortifications have been researched. We are coming up on being ready. Do we keep this guy? I think we keep this guy coastal. I guess we could we cross here is the question. Maybe on the next turn. Let's move him back again. Might be able to cross it. That guy grabbed that, and that guy is now actually in the spot we want him on to make a claim if we choose to snag those islands. This guy, I believe, is going to be in his spot. Probably this right here. Or maybe this. Let's keep him right here. That guy, I think, is in a pretty good spot. That guy's already in a good spot for a claim. This boat needs to save itself. Ooh, and then it's going to barely be able to get to its next destination. Okay, we just spawned another boat up here, which is perfectly fine. Where are we going to send said boat is the question. Just put it on Auto Explore. Just going to put it on Auto. Now, this army of 4 was exploring up here, I believe. Oh no, they came all the way across from here. Oh my goodness. Okay, well they can jump onto this territory. That's what their next deal will be. Okay, we'll get our final 2 turns for research in. And we gotta put more Cothons in. So let's go check all of our Kothon spots. We got one in there. So here's one in Aldufin that we need to put in. Let's see. So this is our VOC spot here in this territory, I believe. Yeah, because nothing else is going to have the coast that we need. So there's our VOC spot. And that 23.9 looks absolutely gorgeous. Which one do I like? I like the look of this one. Okay. So let's continue on. Close is growing very slowly at this point, which is actually fine. Slow growth is going to do us good at this point. Okay, great. So we still have a couple more to put in. So, oh, and this one actually is quad spot. All right, so there's our VOC, because there's our haven. As much as it's going to want us to put it down here, we're not going to do that. We have a 26, we have a 23-9, and a 23-6 and 1. So we're going to take the 9, because that sounds great to me. 9 production. All right, so did we just get all our Cothons in? So Cothons might be in. Let's do a quick run through. Oh, here's a Kothon spot. This is why we do this. All right, so this territory just has this coast, and so this is our spot here or here. And so we take the 9, 23-9, and that becomes our spot. Go down. Ah, no, there is more. There were more to put in. All right, this particular one is going to go here. Oh, this is another we can only get 2 in because of the resources. That's kind of a bummer. It's a really nice one, though. I think we take the... So that's going to be... Regular harbors are going to extend down here. We're going to get the access to that science. I think we'll go up here. We'll take the extra production. And then I guess our VOC spot becomes this right here. Like, that's fine. That'll benefit our VOC anyway. Oh, we didn't even come close to getting all these in. I was completely mistaken. All right, so this particular territory, yep, right here. And that is a nice spot for our VOC right there. So a 41-15. That is a beast. That is a beast of a Kothon. 41-15 Kothon. Okay, we're out of influence. We're just going to run through. We're going to do a full check. I don't remember where we started, but I think if we get back to our capital again, yeah, so Byblos. Okay, so every Kothon is now in. All of our Kothons are in. So if we want to attempt to put a claim in, maybe we claim these islands. That's gonna grow so slow. We'll look at what our fastest growth one is to see if we can't get like 1 more Kothon down before we move era. So we're gonna get enough to. I don't even know if we're going to get enough to put one down. I think that may have been it. So we may have stopped at exactly the right time. When we stopped claiming land in the New World, it may have been precisely the turn we needed to do it to make this move up happen in the right order. All right. Speed star earned. And we're 1 turn away from our final tech. We check it. There's our final tech before we need to move up, and so we're really 1 turn away from that here. Okay, so we don't have enough 625 to put one in here. We're not gonna even have that next turn, so I think 650 here because it's completely unattached. What's this guy doing? Hello, Mr. Warrior? He probably was an auto explorer. Now he's just trying to drown himself in the waters. We get there in 2 turns? It seems to indicate that we can. So we'll make that attempt. Okay. Yeah, 600. I mean, we're not going to get there next turn to even be able to plop one of these in. So even if we picked a high industry one that went in, I think that's it for Cothons. Would have been beautiful to get Cothons in around the New World, but we got plenty of Cothons in, like a lot. We got a lot of Cothons in, so I think we're pretty good. I think we just get this guy on this land now. Oh, what is this landmass? Is this part of? Oh, this might be part of Burley's continent that stretches this way, and so Plosov's little continent is super tiny up here potentially. This map is really fascinating. I've really liked how this map turned out, and it's really built up just perfectly for what we're trying to do. All these guys are just hanging out now, waiting for claims to come in. Oh, what was this guy? Oh yeah, he grabbed a curiosity, and then he was going to come down. Here. Weird ridge right there. All right, this guy should be able to get here in 2 turns. So let's send him on his way. Oh, perfect. A curiosity, we love it. Okay. I'm going to start in Byblos. I'm going to make one more round just to double check and ensure our Cothons are in. So when we get back to Byblos, we're done. If we see a Kothon be placed anywhere, we know that we made a mistake. All right, back to Byblos. Okay, so all Cothons are in. And then we can also double check that by making sure no outposts are currently being constructed. None of them are under construction. So all Cothons are in. So we will be good to move up after this next turn. In fact, we could actually just move up now, technically speaking. But I'd like to save up a little bit of influence. We're not going to get a claim in. We could, I guess on the next turn we'd be able to see if that would actually happen. So let's just do it. The turn 102 move up is I'm not opposed to that. I feel like that's not crazy to me. Harbors Are Us is attaining its last tenant. This is of course a momentous occasion. Our fourth tenant we already have polytheism. We have respect the sea's bounties, making our coastal waters insane food production tiles. We've observed fast, which is making our harbors incredible food producers as well. And we have mandate patronage, which is benefiting our trade routes, which hopefully are going to become quite large. And that should be getting us a ton of money. And now we have the option of raised monuments, which is arguably probably like the next best one, maybe potentially. Plus 50 science on a cultural wonder. So if you're building wonders, you could really start to make benefits on this particular one. So raised monuments can give you some nice science. Sustain the faithful. If you're having trouble with stability, we'll obviously boost that really well. This would be something where if the Bandari weren't in the game, to execute this strategy with the harbors, you would need Sustain the Faithful. Donate Generously is, in my opinion, by far and away, easily the best tenant in this particular set of tenants, and that is solely because, for whatever reason, every single one of these has +1 number of max holy sites, and Donate Generously has +3. So you get 2 extra holy sites for picking Donate Generously. Not only that, but you're also getting money on Alliance, which alliances are relatively easy to maintain in Humankind for the most part. Even on higher levels, like if you're doing the right things, you should be able to maintain some alliances. If you've got stuff to trade and maintain armies and do the right things, you should be able to do that as well. So that one's pretty good. And then obviously you could take something like Meditate often if you want the combat strength bonus. So none of these are like awful by any means, but for some reason, Donate Generously has the extra holy sites, which means extra stability, which kind of defeats the purpose of Sustain the Faithful because they have to be following a foreign religion. I don't know. Sustain the Faithful is a very weird one to me. So we're going to take Donate Generously, of course, because it's going to get us money, which is what we want. And it's going to get us extra holy sites we can build, which is fantastic. So we'll go ahead and choose that tenant. And actually, how's religion going on this map? Well, our religion it's spreading just a titch, but we're not getting... Our religion is doing quite fine. Let's see how this is going. Yeah, we're spreading out to the free peoples here, but everyone's civic, like culturally, like everyone's doing fine on an influence standpoint. There's our new tenant.
You intrigue me.
Shared
Let's
logistics.
talk.
Sure.
You are as
Why
just as you are wise.
Do we get now?
Come, let us discuss our dreams.
All
We have
those of
treaties
honest
available with
intent
somebody.
may have.
Your empire is an enigma.
Suspicious.
We would all benefit
Well,
from growing closer, don't you
don't
think?
have anything, I don't think.
There's just no way to make this work.
I'm not gonna
I do not
pay for
accept.
that. Pleasant.
I
Propose
have
alliance.
a proposition for you.
Backed
I
off
think
to
you'll like
hesitant.
it.
I'll renounce
I
that
can
grievance
see
since
the
I
bigger
don't.
picture.
We're renouncing
Let
grievances
us
because I
no
don't have an
longer
embassy
speak
and I
of
don't
this.
have any people going out and doing that sort of thing. So you might as well renounce them all, right? Like that's the whole kind of point. Okay, I don't know if we have open borders. That may have been why we were in the water, to be honest. I'm not sure. Well, let's just get our troops kind of running around. These guys are going to stay in their positions, so everyone on the New World is just going to sit in their spots. Wait. Did I put this guy back on Auto Explorer and he just like ended up in the water again?
Understood.
We should probably just bring all of our units back home and just like start prepping to either create like some sort of standing army. Exploration is starting to like we don't just well, let's break the rest of the fog, but like we've got units that are kind of just stinking around at this point. All right, so we could put in 575 to put this in, but it takes 5 turns, so we're not going to get the bonus out of it. So here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do with our influence is what we're going to do is we're going to save it, and we're actually going to go and put in our cities first. So if we put in, specifically, if we put in this city, that will give us cheap claims on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That will give us cheap claims on 5 of these territories. So we're going to go make this a city. This territory right here, we make that a city. The other territory we're going to make a city is going to be, I believe, this one. Yeah, we make this a city because it's also interior. And then we attach up into that. So that becomes a city with an attachment. This is just its own thing. And then that will give us, those will both give us, like, ultimately, like, cheap attachments. Although this city doesn't need to go in right now. So, who was headed? Where were you guys headed? Oh yeah, they're actually headed to that spot, right? So that's what we want them to do. So that's perfect. Here's that wacko Long Island. Oh yeah, these guys were headed out this way. Because there's a lovely little curiosity over here somewhere. I'm gonna try to find. Oh well, except we're moving up, so the curiosity should disappear. Unfortunately. So that little trek that he just made was probably for naught. All right, our cities are ready to do more. We have 9 food. We have a population cap issue cropping up here, which means we should really be building a district. But my gosh, they have like nothing down. Granary gets us a farmer slot and 8 food. 8 food is not a lot, but the farmer slot is nice. And that's a 1-turn build, so that's kind of just like, we're just gonna do it, you know. Let's reset this really quick. We have 22 extra food here now. We are 2 clear of pop cap, which is not much, but it does give us the capability of probably building in 1 or 2 infrastructures. The idea of adding some science stuff might be nice. Some gold stuff. Oh wait, is that 16 money? That's 16 money per? 16 money per turn is kind of wild. And we're not really wanting it to grow, like, enormously fast if we've got some food here yet. So I like the idea of 16 money per is really fantastic. 18 science per is also very nice. I'm going to go with the money. Let's go with the money. In a normal game, I'd go with that science, like, almost 100% of the time. But just because we're cheesing the harbor strat, probably not so much. 32 food. 40 food, actually. And we're 1 clear. Okay, we're only 1 clear here. I think we got to go... Oh, man. We need we need access to our hamlets is what's going to save this problem for us. We do have a stability issue here, though, so I think we are going to go ahead and build in that. We're going to 2-turn in this aqueduct. And then we'll probably look at putting in another district, potentially. We might even look at putting a holy site in, Sidon at some point. The problem with Sidon is if we put a holy site in it, it doesn't benefit from a lot of the trade because there's not really resources here that we're trading. So that's kind of problematic. Okay, and so now we move up. So we are prepared. Chat, this is it. This is the move. The Cothons are in. We are prepared to move up to the Swahili and get access to our Bandaris. Now, it does bear worth mentioning that the Norsemen are also part of the classical, or part of the medieval era. So the Norsemen also have another harbor. So when this strat was viable back before the pack released, that the Cultures of Africa pack where the Swahili were included, you could pull this strat off then, and usually you were building these nousts, which got you an insane amount of food. Nousts are huge food gain emblematic quarters. So if you have a situation where you find yourself needing a bunch of food, nousts actually get you huge bonuses on food. And then the Stormborn trait is intriguing because +3 naval speed and combat, and +3 on transports, and then on combats, then the +2 combat strength as well. Like, it's a big deal. You can get around in the ocean very fast with the Norsemen. Now, combo that with Lighthouse of Alexandria, and you could be flying across the seas. Your movement capabilities go through the roof if you're the Norsemen and you've built Lighthouse of Alexandria. Plus, the Naust is a really good unit. Really good emblematic district. So it's definitely something to consider, especially if you need some extra food in one of your playthroughs. The Norsemen are a good source for that. However, for the part that we want to play in enhancing money and our VOC warehouses, the Swahili make a lot more sense. And actually, their coastal haven trait is a kind of a key cog in our harbor strat wheel, right? So we want the Swahili, we want the coastal havens, and so we will adopt we want the coastal haven ability, we want the Bandaris, and so we will adopt the Swahili. Here we go. Beauty.
Wisdom and technical innovation from earlier eras bring humankind new knowledge, and we immediately use it to find new ways to kill each other off.
I mean, hopefully not. We're being peaceful.
Greater empires build more powerful armies, but brute strength may be defeated by superior innovations. It is brains versus brawn, with ever richer cities as tempting spoils for the victor.
It's true, our cities are going to be very rich.
Between brains and brawn, the Swahili went with luxury.
Yes.
Not an unreasonable decision.
We're going to enjoy our luxury. Alright, so we have entered the medieval era. Coast to coast. Somebody sail, that's the circumnavigate one, right? Oh, no. A conquer a continent. Okay. Oh, yeah, because we just talked about how Plosiv's continent was super tiny. Yeah, interesting. Alright. So, we got our Phoenicians, we got our Carthaginians, we are now the Swahili, and we are just one away from the early modern era in which we get our VOC warehouses as the Dutch and start to see the absolutely ridiculous gains that we are about to experience when we do that. It's gonna be pretty crazy when we go about doing that. So let's figure out. This is not gonna be here anymore. We're here, so I guess we'll check. In fact, I guess we could just sail. Now that we're here, we could just sail across, just to see, you know, like what's over here. This is our army of scouts, and I don't remember if we have open borders.
Follow me.
We'll just keep them moving around. Probably could set a bunch of these to auto-explore yet again. What's this guy? Wow, you're... Oh, that's right. This guy was... Okay, let's keep him in the water. I'm going to keep him in the water. I'm going to keep him in the water. We're trying to circumnavigate the globe. We got one ship going the other direction. We'll send this ship as a boat. Like, I guess he's a boat. I hope they count as a boat. Okay, so we don't want to do this, so we're going to hold on that claim. We're going to hold on this claim. We're going to hold on that claim. We're going to wait till our other guys get there. This guy just jumped onto territory, but I literally don't know what this guy's going to do. I guess we have a lot to explore over here. Maybe we just send him across the ocean. Like maybe we made the wrong move there. Like maybe he just goes this way, you know?
Let's go.
I don't know if we have open borders with Burley. We'll have to see if we can negotiate that.
Let's go.
Have a nice plains in between these mountains. Kind of interesting.
A new independent people.
Nice.
And who are they? Time will tell if they are helpful, helpless, or history.
I agree, Mr. Narrator. No, I agree. Okay, we can sail across this way, it looks like, so that'd be great. Just hold that for a turn. Carthage is ready to build. They just one turned in their granary, and they have 25 extra food. They are close to pop cap, but we could probably risk 18 food on that. 10 industry is not bad. 16 industry is even better. 16 industry seems well worth it. And then we probably need to focus on making sure we have one of each district in as well. Alright, we can pick our science for our next era. This is looking like it's going to be our final turn as well of this episode, so it's just something that we'll be wrapping up here shortly. Colony model is definitely something we want before we place that city down. So that decides our tech right away. We want colony model before anything else because we want the ability to, when we build that city, we want those infrastructures. It is huge. to time your city expansions once you get up to colony model. Feudalism is a very important tech. Not only does it get you +1 food on tiles producing food, which is going to solve a lot of your food problems right away, if you're having any, but colony model is huge if you're putting cities in, because you don't have that option anywhere before this, right? Every infrastructure you research, you have to build until you get to colony model. Once you get to colony model, it starts with the infrastructures that are constructible from the ancient and classical era already built in the city. And that's hugely beneficial because that is a ton of production time that you save in your city, and your city gets off to a much, much, much faster start when you have colony model research. So that's going to be the first place we go. We might end up then teching into theology for the city cap, but I don't think we're actually having city cap problems. The thing with teching to feudalism is that it also gets you closer to chivalry, which is another very important tech because that gets you access to your hamlet, which is going to solve a lot of population cap problems that you're having. So that's just something to think about as you enter the medieval era. Top 2 techs, often feudalism into chivalry is a very popular way to go, just to be able to get access to that. Your city cap is going to play a role as well. So just things to think about as we're going through the game. There we have it. The Cothons are in. The classical era is over, and we are now the Swahili, and we are in the medieval era, which means we are one era away from becoming the Dutch and making our attachments and starting to see the absolute power of this strategy. Obviously, we've done fairly well for ourselves in claiming land. The New World was right next to us, so that was handy. We're prepping for our claims there, so we'll get this city down right here, and then be able to make these claims all on the cheap. That this city's going to cost us a ton, and so we'll get there. We're gonna have to save up influence because first we have to place the outpost, then we're gonna turn it into a city. We're not gonna turn it into a city until we research colony model. So we do have 6 turns until that happens, until we get feudalism in play with the colony model there. So we want to wait for that, and hopefully I remember to wait for that. And then we will just start progressing towards making the rest of our claims here in the New World. And really, at that point, we're just trying to get to where we can move up. We're going to save influence for getting our Bandaris in. We're going to get the Bandaris in. Once we move up to the Dutch, we'll be able to put our regular harbors in for the first time ever. And so we'll try to save some influence to be able to do that. And as soon as that's done, we start making attachments and putting VOCs in. I mean, that's going to take a little bit of time, but that's kind of the play as we roll through the next few episodes here. I'm very excited to be into the medieval era in this game. We also have so many resources that we have not put in yet. That's the other thing we'll do before we attach. Before we attach, we'll be saving influence as well to be able to purchase in all of our resources, which is then going to increase our trade. Our gold's going to go off the charts. It's going to be wild. Stick around for future episodes because it's going to be a lot of fun to see all of this kind of come to like its fruition. It's going to really explode. It's going to be a ton of fun. Thank you all so much for joining me for this episode. I appreciate you. I hope you're having a great time watching this content. If you are, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I release these videos every Sunday afternoon, and I'll look forward to sharing the next episode with you next week. Thank you for watching again, and I'll see you next